The diet, tea, coffee. There's something out there called stevia. There's 12 wonderful flavors of this natural sugar. I'll reference my wife that needed 2 to 3 Splendas and cream for her coffee. Now she uses 3 drops of stevia and is completely happy with that. It comes in different flavors. It comes in different forms, packets, pills, liquid. Okay, it's completely mobile. You can take it wherever you want. They say in the initial diet back in 1954, you're allowed 1 tablespoon of milk per 24 hours. Now, there's nobody in God's creation that is a cream person that can tolerate that. 1 tablespoon, it won't even lighten up your coffee that much. So in my world, you don't need it. Don't taste the candy. Put it away. Those of you that can't drink your coffee without cream, go to the tea. It works. What kind of tea? Green tea. Why? Because it's got something called phenols in it that helps to detoxify your system. It's very good. A gallon of water a day.
Easier said than done.
Depends on who you are. I'm a very liquid person. I can drink a couple of gallons a day and be fine. There are a lot of people out there that are not liquid kind of people. You need to do it. Number 1, a lot of times when we're hungry, we're really thirsty. And I can prove that because if you have a big glass of water as soon as you get up in the morning, you're not even going to want anything for breakfast. Okay? The gallon of water is separate from the tea or the coffee. Okay, so get yourself, I've got 42 empty plastic gallons at my house because we had to get bottled water, okay, versus regular tap. But again, going towards healthier kind of things, I was okay with that. And then you knew how much you were drinking. If you're like hospital people, like most of you or me, you know, these are easily grabbable. So I know how many of these I have to have a day to meet my requirement. Huh? How many of these? These are 16-ounce bottles, so I have 8 of them.
8 days a gallon.
Careful though, because there's ones out there that are 20. Just keep on drinking whenever you.
They're all different sizes.
Okay. And the green tea, again, it has a lot of antioxidants in it, and it helps to detox your system. Stevia, it's a natural sweetener. It's in packets, it's in liquids, and it's in pills. Each of them have their own. Let's put it this way. Pills are great for your purse, and so are the packets, if you feel that you have to have that packet thing. The liquids, I think, are better. Apricot nectar, chocolate raspberry, chocolate cinnamon, English toffee, grape, lemon, orange, Valencia, root beer, and vanilla cream. That's all the flavors in this stuff.
Where do you find it in all those flavors?
You find them in the health food stores. They're yes. It's unlimited. It's a natural sweetener. You want to stay away from the saccharins, you want to stay away from the Splendas and all that stuff. But you can have whatever you want. In fact, there's a book that we're going to be supplying people that are on it that has actual recipes if you're a root beer person. Somebody just started the diet that her downfall is Dr. Pepper. There's a recipe in there to use carbonated water, okay, and the root beer stevia and the vanilla cream, and it tastes like Dr. Pepper. There's a spin-off for 7-Up. So, you know, those of you that are kind of, you know, good like that you have to have something that's not just regular water, that'll work. Question?
Where do you get the vitamin D from?
I've been getting most of my stuff from the health food store lately. And it's got to be vitamin D3, because that's the one that your body assimilates the best. Okay, now I go to the...
D3 is an oil, it's minus a oil capsule.
It does not have to be an oil. No. So this is a stevia. I get it at the health food store next to Dunkin' Donuts, of all places. You walk in, it's right on the wall. If they don't have that flavor, they can order it. The reason I like them is because if you do enough business with them, every time you buy something, they stamp your card and you get some money off later on. Lunch. Okay, so you get up, you pee, you poop, you do whatever you need to do, and you get on a scale and you weigh yourself. You start drinking your water, your tea, green tea, or your coffee. Okay? Your first meal of the day is lunch. Anybody that's a diabetic, I would strongly suggest have an apple in the morning, monitor your sugars. Okay, that's going to have to be a mandatory thing. It's going to be a packet, there's going to be a book that comes with it, bulk, that gives you all these recipes, and it gives you recipes because, let's face it, this gets a little bit boring after about week 3. Okay? So, lunch is going to be your first meal of the day. You get 3.5 ounces of whatever protein you want. That can be veal. If it's going to be beef, American beef has more fat in it. We wash it, we color it, we do all that fun stuff. So buy grass-fed beef. It's at Publix. You ask them for it. It's a lot healthier. You can get bison. Bison is 97% fat-free. A little gamier than the grass-fed beef, but still very yummy. Chicken, skinless, of course. Lobster, shrimp, crab, venison, anything that you want, okay, you can have. Fish as well. Okay, there's a fish chart that I'm going to include in the packet that tells you which fishes are good and which are not. Everybody says salmon's great, but you know what? It's really fat. A lot of fat in salmon. Yes?
You said 3.5 ounces of any meat you want, but don't you have to go by the amount of calories that each of those meat? No?
No. But I would strongly advise don't eat chicken all the time, don't eat meat all the time, don't eat venison all the time. Mix and match everything. We'll get to it in a little bit about sometimes people eat the same stuff, and if you're eating, there's a meatball recipe that's to die for, but, if you keep on eating meatballs every day, you're going to stall as far as your weight loss. Okay? So any of that, 3.5 ounces, when do you weigh it? Before you cook it. So if it's frozen, it gets weighed frozen, and if it's thawed, then it gets weighed that way. But it's before you cook it. And of course, if you're going to have pork, cut the fat off of it first. Okay? One of the girls went ahead and she lost 30 pounds on the diet, and she did wonderful, but one day she admitted, I just had to suck the fat. Okay, fine. I'm okay with that. She looks great. She's 30 pounds 6 weeks later. Broil, grill, poach, saute. No additional oil, no PAM, no EVOO, nothing. You'd be surprised how it doesn't take a stick of butter to saute asparagus. You could really boil it, and it's just as yummy, because in phase 3, then you can go ahead and put some oil on it afterwards. Changes the way you cook. One vegetable. So you pick a vegetable, and then you're going to take a handful of that. Well, how much is a handful? A handful? No rocket science with that. If your vegetable is going to be spinach, take a loose handful. Don't go get the block of frozen stuff and use a handful of that. There's a lot of things up to interpretation. What else? Chard, which I don't know what that is. Swiss chard? Okay. Chicory, I know what that is. Green salad, don't freak out if it's a spring mix, because that's still considered lettuce. So don't freak out that you're mixing and matching. Tomatoes, celery, fennel. Fennel's really good. It's got a licorice taste to it. Asparagus, cabbage is good as well. No, you cannot mix them. Whatever vegetable you have, that's it. If you're having tomatoes, you have tomatoes. 2 plum tomatoes fit in my hand, that's what I have. Cucumber, great. One of my favorites that I would do was 5 shrimp, malt vinegar, garlic, whatever other spices I wanted, and half of a cucumber cut up. That's what fits in my hand. And that would be it to go, I'm going fishing. This is what I would have out on the boat. Apple, orange, strawberries, half a grapefruit. So this is what you're having for lunch. So if you think about it, 3.5 ounces of a protein, a vegetable, and for lunch, I always did an apple. For dinner, I always did a grapefruit instead of the apple because it's sloppier, and I was always home for dinner, so I didn't have to worry about eating in the car. Again, intentional. You're planning this out. I know that wherever I go, if I want to go to Nouvelle Cuisine, hey, Isabel, I'm going to take the filet. I know it's 8 ounces. I'm going to have half. My wife's going to have the other half. Okay, I can't have I'll have the salad, but don't put anything on it for me. Okay, and they don't have apples there, but they put oranges on things. So you're at Nouvelle Cuisine, and we're still eating. It's portable. It can go with you. You're at the hospital. You can get something to eat. Grilled chicken. It's there. Salad. It's there. Who can't put an apple in their car? Do not take any of these water bottles. Very bad to leave them in your car. The sun changes it and releases like the PCBs and all the cancer-causing stuff. So get something eco-friendly if you're going to do something as far as these. But always have one around. Salmon, eel, tuna, herring, dried or pickled fish, they're not allowed on the original diet because of the fat content, because of the preservatives. You will develop a new appreciation for vinegar. Malt vinegar, red wine vinegar, apple cider vinegar, distilled vinegar, no balsamic. Because the balsamic has the sugar in it, but all these other vinegars make really yummy recipes. They also curb your appetite. So anybody that's ever hungry, it sounds gross, but some people take a swig of it. Some people at the hospital will take a teaspoon of it and put it in some warm water. It's up to you. Lemon juice, very good. The original article talks about taking having the juice of 1 lemon a day. I just, lemon, that's it. I put lemon in my water, I put lemon in seltzer water. You know, some of these diet recipes have the carbonated water, so that's what I would use.
Is the bottled lemon juice all right, or it has to be fresh?
It doesn't have to be fresh. They actually have some powdered packets. It's called Lemon Up. And I'm not sure if it has, I don't think it has sugar in it, I'm not sure. But some people were using that. I use the reconstituted lemon juice. Sea salt, much better than regular salt. Yes?
Doc, the Minute Maid frozen lemon juice is 100% pure
Okay.
lemon juice, and they sell that.
Excellent, thank you. Sea salt, much better than regular salt. Regular salt is iodized, sea salt is not, it's more natural. Pepper. Huh? Does it? See, I'm learning.
He has to use the fake salt in it.
That's fine. Don't need any salt, really. But if you want to use the
I don't
fake
use
salt.
much, but I do use that.
Mustard powder, garlic, basil, thyme, marjoram. Just no butter, no oil. Spices, real big downfall because most of the spices out there aren't pure spices. So like the lemon pepper thing has lemon pepper and a bunch of crud in it. Stay away from that. If you're going to use garlic powder, not garlic salt. If you use dried onion, the onion chips, yeah, that's considered a vegetable. It's not a spice. Organic spices are fine as long as they're pure. What you want to avoid, a lot of people are getting stalled because I'm telling them spice by spice, and they're wondering why they like plateaued and they're not losing any more.
Gator Nutrition now on 19 has a really good variety of spices.
Do they? Good.
Where was that?
Gator, over on 19 by next to the Palace Grand, the mini Palace Grand. Yeah. Yeah, you can use fresh. Breadsticks, grissini, or Melba toast, those are if necessary. I can't imagine how a piece of Melba toast is going to quench your hunger. I'd rather take a swig of the vinegar. Just the bite feels really good.